Expressive Keyboards, Enriching Gesture Typing in Mobile Devices. What if you could create rich, personalized output as you type? Gesture typing lets users type by drawing shapes that connect the letters of each word. It's fast, convenient, and runs on millions of devices. The recognition algorithm is highly tolerant of input variation. These different gestures are all recognized correctly as great. Today's recognizers discard this variation as noise, even though it may reveal the user's intent and personal style. What if we recycle this variation to produce rich output? The Expressive Keyboard extracts features from the user's gestures in real time, normalizes them using the recognized word, and maps the result to enrich the output. But first, do users actually gesture type differently under different conditions? Yes. Our first experiment shows that users vary their gestures when they are asked to type accurately, quickly, or creatively. Gesture features quantify the variations in word gestures. We identified 3 salient features. Speed consistency corresponds to the speed ratio between the first and last half of the gesture. Curviness corresponds to the standard deviation of the absolute values of the instantaneous angles. Inflation corresponds to the ratio of the bounding box areas of the gesture and the gesture template. Our second experiment explored whether users can control their gestures deliberately to produce rich output, such as colored text. We used the Expressive Keyboard to map the 3 gesture features to RGB color. Inflation ratio was mapped to red, curviness to green, and speed consistency ratio to blue. This allows users to generate any color in the RGB color space. We found that users can deliberately control color as they gesture type, while also retaining accuracy. However, users face a trade-off. They sometimes erase correct words to modify the color. Users performed better when they focused on the output rather than input characteristics. Some also used the color to help them evaluate their own performance. Our third experiment investigated how users appropriate expressive keyboards for use in a more realistic setting. We created a font engine that lets users define new typefaces and then interpolate between them to generate new variations. We used the Expressive Keyboard to map the gesture features to a user-defined font. Speed consistency ratio is mapped to font interpolation weight, inflation ratio to stroke thickness, and curviness to the magnitude of small random variations in shape. Expressive Keyboard users significantly changed how they gesture type, for example, to express verbal intonation or mood in text, to highlight phrases, and to reflect on their gesture performance. This helps some participants gesture type more accurately. What else can we do with Expressive Keyboards? We implemented a parametric emoticon engine and mapped gesture features to subtle changes in expression. In the future, we plan to explore how Expressive Keyboards can generate other forms of rich output, including nuanced speech synthesis and parametric commands.